Hey friends, Wayne Brown the Ram Man. I wanted to share some little tips and tricks with you. Specifically, we're talking about the C bodies and the Imperials and the pin caliper system for those cars. Of course, those cars, starting in 79, excuse me, 69, I'm jumping way ahead. They went to a pin caliper setup, one of the finest ever developed. Of course, I talk about it all the time. And they went to this great big old 1.25 inch wide rotor, which is the same thing they decided to use on the vans and the trucks later on. And of course, today, the only time you see a big old 1.25 inch rotor is on like a super high performance car or an exotic car. So, Chrysler 1970 on the standard cars, they used a rotor that was 1 inch thick. And then on, like I said, the C bodies and the Imperials, they used a rotor that was 1.25 inches thick. And of course, the C bodies and the Imperials, they came with the 1175 rotor, which necessitates a 15-inch wheel. Of course, they came with it. Shown here in the example right here is one of our rotors set up for the Imperial. The earlier Imperials, specifically like 67 off in that range. If you'll notice here, it's been re-drilled and, for a 5.5 inch bolt pattern. So this is like what we sell for people that want to put real awesome disc brakes on an Imperial. Here's the rotor. So you have two different types of calipers. They're both pin calipers, but you have a wide mouth caliper for the 1.25 inch, and you have a standard mouth for a standard rotor. Now, wide mouth caliper is 2.5 inches from the piston to the edge. As you can see, 2.5 inches. And a standard pin caliper is 2.25. So that's how you can identify them if you're not used to looking at 1,000 of them and just can eyeball that stuff. Now the books, they tell you about you can do this and slide in the pads and stuff. But I found, and they say don't do it, but I found that it works better. Actually, you can pre-assemble this pin caliper setup. You can see right here, I've already installed the shoes, the outboard shoe on the pins, and this is the inboard shoe, and here's the caliper bracket, and the pins are already screwed in. And I find that it works easier than trying to juggle all this. Now I've just got this thing set up right here, so here we go. So there it is, all put together. Slide it right on. Put in our two caliper bracket bolts. Tighten them down, and there we go, my friends. Pin caliper system installed. One of the easiest things that you could ever do. And like I've told you, reminding you about the pin caliper setup. See, is versus the slider. They slide back and forth on these 4 great big machine ways. 1, 2, 3, 4. Plus they have the alignment pins. If you'll notice, modern cars, almost all of them, have a pin type design and some variation or what have you. So this thing floats back and forth, and the alignment pins. That's why you very rarely ever hear about a floating caliper design or a pin caliper design hesitating, binding, or locking up. They just float back and forth easier. The other big advantage of the pin caliper setup, once again, is the standard pads are about 25% bigger, so they have 25% more surface area. And of course, I've also in limited supply have the ceramic pads for the pin caliper setup, because in truth, the pin caliper setup, even on the original MOPARs as early as 69, is a first-class, heavy-duty, high-performance setup, especially with the ceramic pads. Alright, my friends, that's all there is to it. Once again, in review, standard caliper is 2.25 inches from piston are sealed to the outboard edge, and a wide mouth is 2.5. So that's how you can identify. Remember, your bleed screws are always on top, no matter what. No, never be able to bleed that thing right. So there you go, my friends. There's a little review for the C-bodies and the Imperials, and that's how you put first-class disc brakes on one of those cars. 65 and up C-bodies and the Imperials. You do that spindle change, and you've got one of the finest systems that you could ever bolt on your car. Then and today. Rivals anything. Alright, friends. Give us a call at the Ram Man, 817-429-0105, or shoot us an email. Please, when you shoot us an email, please put a contact phone number in there so we can call you back. You would not believe how many people send us an email. We are busy, folks. About 500 people a day watch the helpful videos. Yes, a day. So thank goodness for that. Main thing is it just saves us from answering a whole bunch of questions, and a lot of people get the help that they need, because not a whole lot of good, correct information out there for us MOPAR brothers. Anyway, God bless you, God bless America, and happy frickin' MOPAR. Thank you. Bye.